Casters.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back into WTIM, your information station. Time now for the second segment of our WTIM morning show. Thank you so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. In studio, we have some great folks from CEFS. That's Christian, Effingham, Fayette, and Shelby. Brittany Palmer, she's the Meals on Wheels coordinator, and Kim Shelmadine, RSVP manager at CEFS Community Action. Thank you both for being in with me today.
Hi,
Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's hop right into it with Meals on Wheels. I'm weirdly familiar with the Meals on Wheels menu for our people in Christian County. That is awesome. Brittany, thank you for being in here with us. Just generally with Meals on Wheels.
Yes, thank you.
What is your message to the community? What do you do?
Oh, yes. So I am the Meals on Wheels program manager. I oversee all of the Meals on Wheels sites that we have. So total sites with all of the counties that we cover, we have 14 meal sites.
Okay.
But with Christian County, we cover Kincaid, Morrisonville, Pana, Taylorville, and we even have a site in Assumption.
Wow.
I don't think many people know probably about the site there in Assumption.
Right.
So what we do is we provide meals Monday through Friday to seniors, and the only qualifications for the Meals on Wheels program is you have to be 60 years of age or older. Okay. And we do have congregate sites that you can come to. Taylorville, it's at the Senior Center. And we also have congregate sites in Kincaid, Morrisonville, and Pana. Okay. The Assumption site, we do not have a congregate site. That is just a deliver only. Okay. So anyone age 60 and older is welcome to come. And then we also have deliveries too throughout those towns. And in order to qualify for the delivery of the meals to you, again, 60 and older, and then you have to be what is considered homebound or just have a difficult time getting out of the house by yourself.
Okay. You mentioned the congregate sites. Is that a place you can just eat? Is that a place?
Yes. Yep. You come in, and with Taylorville, that's one of our biggest sites that we have. We provide the meal, and it's $4.25 per meal. And all that we do is you call in a day ahead before noon to request that you want the meal. And they have activities at the sites for the seniors to do. Bingo is a big one. So if you like bingo, come check it out. But then also I know that at some of our sites, I know Morrisonville and also Taylorville, they play bags, and that's a big one too.
Cool. Really,
everybody loves bags.
Great low impact physical activity, right?
Yes, yes.
That is really awesome. I'm glad to hear about these congregate sites. I did imagine that maybe it was just a one stop for Meals on Wheels boss. It was just moving around, going one house to one house. But there is an option for that if you are homebound, like you said.
Yes, yep. And if you're homebound, it's a great way for somebody to check on you on a daily basis too. Make sure that you're doing okay. You know, some of our seniors that we serve, they may not have family or friends around, and so we may be the one face that they see on a daily basis. Absolutely. And we're just checking in, making sure that they're okay also at the same time.
I hadn't even considered that yet. That might be the only face that knocks on that door that
That's
day.
Right.
You know, the only person that knows that person is okay and accepted their meal for the day. So wow, another very interesting added positive feature there for the Meals on Wheels. You mentioned 14 different sites, but we're also focusing heavily on Christian County right now. How far outside of Christian do you guys go?
Oh goodness. So you're going to make me think on the spot here. No, so we cover Montgomery County, so that is Litchfield and the Hillsborough area. So that's the furthest that we go. Of course, then we have Effingham County. We've got several sites in Effingham County. We have Clay County, which we have Flora and Louisville in Clay County. And let's see, I'm trying to think here. I didn't bring my brochure in with me.
But all of the Meals on Wheels menu that I read, that remains the same for all those sites?
Yes. Wow. So the Meals on Wheels menu that you have, we provide the same meals at all of the sites.
Okay, wow, that is huge. This is Brittany Palmer speaking with us right now. She's Meals on Wheels program coordinator. You're responsible for making these the menu every week?
I am. I'm responsible for getting the menu done up and getting them sent out.
That is awesome. Talk to me a little bit about what goes into that. You're staying.
Sure. Yeah. So we have to follow nutritional guidelines that are set forth by the state, and so we have to provide certain, amount of protein, a certain amount of vegetables, things like that. So we follow those guidelines. All of our menus are certified by a dietitian that looks it over and makes sure that it's okay. And then our meals are actually prepared from Deb's Catering out of Altamont. So what they will do is they prepare the meals, they package the meals for us, and they deliver the meals to the sites. The only exception to that is Morrisonville, and Morrisonville, the meals from there come from our central kitchen location, which is located in Litchfield. And Litchfield does the same thing. We have the site there, prepares the meals, packages the meals, and delivers them out.
Cool. Very amazing that process. 60 plus is the qualification. That
is the only qualification. There's no income guidelines. Just age 60 and over.
It does feel like that age is when nutrition starts to become that much more important. You're looking at cholesterol, you're looking at the salt content.
Right.
That's obviously something that goes into your process, correct?
So none of our meals, we don't provide special diet meals for Christian County, but all of our meals do meet the nutritional guidelines that are set forth. But unfortunately, at this time, we don't have a way to do like a low sodium or diabetic meal, but
it can't be a one size fits all. Everyone's got different needs. So
that's right.
Doing the most to cover everybody.
Yes.
Right there.
Yeah.
That is really awesome. It's like we're speaking to a celebrity right now. I read the Meals on Wheels menu. I read that Meals on Wheels menu every day, and I go, who made the menu for today? This sounds delicious. Other days I might skip out on Meals on Wheels, but I don't like sauerkraut or something.
That's right. And everybody's taste buds are different for sure. Our number one meal, I think, out there, from what I've been told, is the fried chicken.
Okay.
So if you like fried chicken, I've heard it's the best.
It'll be like a fried egg with like a tilapia or something.
Oh yeah, the tilapia is really good too. Everybody really likes the tilapia.
Sometimes these meals are very involved, right?
Yeah, they are. They're more involved than what people think too. I mean, because you're looking at that, and then you got to make sure that you don't have green beans, 5 days a week. You got to change it up.
And is milk, bread, and margarine really served with every meal?
Yes.
Okay. I say it every single day. Milk, bread, and margarine serve with every meal. I can't be lying to people.
It sure is.
That's perfect. That's perfect. So you had responses back to you from Meals on Wheels attendees, patrons there, and
yes,
people have back and forth with you. Have you ever gotten any requests to make the menu during the month?
There have been requests. So whenever we get requests, I write that down and see if maybe I can get it into the menu the next month.
It's noted. I've heard you.
That's right.
That is really awesome. Brittany Palmer, manager of the Meals on Wheels program coordinator for Meals on Wheels and CEFS. We've learned a whole lot with you. Can you go ahead and name off those sites in Christian County that people need?
Yes. So in Christian County, we have Kincaid, Morrisonville, Pana, Taylorville, and Assumption.
Perfect. And all of them except one have the congregate sites?
Yes, all of them have the congregate sites except for Assumption.
Perfect. Yep. And thank you for working those in for us in our last couple of minutes here. You're looking for volunteers.
We're always looking for volunteers. We need volunteers to drive and deliver the meals to our homebound seniors. It could take maybe an hour out of your day. And again, we're always looking for that. If you are interested in volunteering, you can give me a call, 217-342-2193, extension 2119, and I can get you directed to the correct site. Same with meals. If you're interested in getting a meal, you can call that same number. Just 24 hours ahead of time before noon. That way we can get you on the list for the next day.
Perfect. The volunteer opportunities in driving and delivering, obviously those are your tasks, but we have learned that you might be a little bit more than that. You're a person that is checking up on a person
that's right. You're very important. Yeah, you're very important.
Absolutely. So really awesome. Brittany, thank you for breaking all that down for us.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. That was Brittany Palmer. She's the Meals on Wheels program coordinator with CEFS. We're going to be talking with Kim Shelmadine, the RSVP manager at CEFS Community Action. When we come back from our timeout, thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. You've been listening to WTIM, your information station. We'll be right back.
Your information station, WTIM.
If you're 40 and over, you'll recognize these artists by their first names: Frank, Dean, Sammy, Andy, Nat, Diana, Michael. Well, here's the big news. You can now hear Central Illinois' largest music library with over 3,500 songs on air and online at 965thechill.com. Tune in on the FM dial in Christian County and on your computer or smartphone. Hear these great artists and many more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 965thechill.com.
There's only one Central Illinois radio station that brings you the memories of the 60s and early 70s as you are cruising down the streets of your hometown. The dial position is 98.3 FM. The station is 98.3 WSVZ. From Macon to Vandalia and I-55 to I-57, cruising 98.3 plays the hits from early Elvis in the 60s to the British invasion of the Beatles, Herman's Hermits, and many more from the 1960s. Then we swing into the early half of the 1970s with artists like the Guess Who, the Doobie Brothers, and Elton John. Every song brings back something you remember about growing up. Set a button and crank up the station, playing good time rock and roll from the Tower of Power, cruising 98.3 WSVZ. There's only one Central Illinois radio station that brings you the memories of the 60s and early 70s as you are cruising down the streets of your hometown. The dial position is 98.3 FM. The station is 98.3 WSVZ. From Macon to Vandalia and I-55 to I-57, cruising 98.3 plays the hits from early Elvis in the 60s to the British invasion of the Beatles, Herman's Hermits, and many more from the 1960s. Then we swing into the early half of the 1970s with artists like the Guess Who, the Doobie Brothers, and Elton John. Every song brings back something you remember about growing up. Set a button and crank up the station, playing good time rock and roll from the Tower of Power, cruising 98.3 WSVZ.
With over 8 hours a day of agriculture programming weekdays and 2 hours on Saturdays, WTIM AM, FM, and online is your ag information station. Listen by tuning in on air or online and listen to WTIM Ag podcasts anytime.
I'm Kim Bourne, CEO of Taylorville Memorial Hospital, and we're hiring experienced nurses to join our great team. Learn more by clicking on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to WTIM, your information station, right in the midst of our WTIM morning show. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. In that first half of the morning show, we talked with Brittany Palmer all about the Meals on Wheels. She's the program coordinator of it and all about the Meals on Wheels operations, and it was really fun to learn all about that. Switching gears, going to turn our attention over to Kim Shelmadine. She's the RSVP manager at CEFS Community Action. Kim, break down your roles with CEFS and maybe just a little bit about your background. What brought you into this position today?
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And about 8 years ago, we moved to Missouri for my husband's job, and I got into the AmeriCorps program there for Central Missouri Community Action. And so with that, they had the foster grandparent program, which is the sister program of the retired senior volunteer program. Okay. So I got into that, and then I was there for 8 years. My husband decided we wanted to move back to be with kids and our grown kids and grandchildren. So we moved back, and there was a position for CEFS, and it was for the retired senior volunteer program. Perfect. So that was perfect. So I called up Amy Ellis, and she's the senior service director for our program. So I had an interview with her, and the rest is history. So I got the job, and here I am. And so RSVP stands for Retired Senior Volunteer Program.
Okay, perfect. That was a big one to break down right there. RSVP, Retired Senior Volunteer Program. Talk to me about the age, before we get into age requirements. What is it? What does this initiative bring about to people in the community?
Okay, so we go out and we try to get volunteers to come in and work in the community doing what they like to do best, show their interest, their hobbies, whatever they like to do. So we recruit 55 years and older, and they go and help out at food pantries, Meals on Wheels. We get people for the Pencil Pal program. We do volunteers for the Head Start programs as well. So they can go into the Head Starts and read to the children, whatever they feel that they would like to do with that. And then we have 7 counties that I do for the Retired Senior Volunteer Program. And it's Effingham, Montgomery, Moultrie, Shelby, Clay, Fayette, and Christian. Okay. And in Christian County, we have a specialist here. Her name is Cindy Nichols, and she is our specialist to go around in Christian County to get volunteers. So we go out to senior fairs here in Christian County. We also go to fair days, and she sets up a booth there. And we get volunteers that way.
Wow. So a lot of opportunities to get involved if you are a senior. But these all seem very community-minded initiatives that you guys are doing. Is that kind of the goal to get the work done, but also be benefiting the community?
That is correct. Okay. So we do a lot of getting together with the mayors in each county. We get together with a lot of business people because we do try to get donations from everybody to help us with our yearly banquets that we do for our volunteers, because we got to appreciate our volunteers for doing what they do in our communities.
Absolutely. Okay. The volunteer banquet, that's obviously a good recognition of what they do all year long. This is a year-long effort. How often would you say these instances are where volunteers are out doing work?
Well, they can volunteer anytime in any of the communities. They can go for 1 hour all the way up to 40 hours a week if that's what they like to do. A lot of them tell us that they volunteer so it gets them out of the house. Yeah. It gives them something to do. This helps with their health. I mean, this is what they're passionate about. And even when we do the banquets and we invite them, they're like, oh, we don't need no recognition. We just want to help out in the community. Yeah. So that's very important.
Really what it's about, creating a working mind and a working body for a person that, doesn't have it on a daily basis, really giving them some purpose there. It's really what it's all about. And you said it even has benefits to your overall health. I mean, just mentally, physically, it all really does work together. Have you seen that? Have you seen a betterment in people as they've started to volunteer?
Oh, yes. They even said that they went and talked to their doctors, and the doctors are telling them that they're coming out and they're getting their walking in, making them feel better doing that. So yeah, a lot of benefits come with volunteering and helping out in the community.
Cool. You mentioned Pencil Pal program. What is that?
Okay. So the Pencil Pal program is a really cool program where you go into, the volunteer goes into this, well, they don't go into the school, sorry, that they write to the children, and they don't meet their kids until the end of the school year. And then we have a big banquet for them, and they come in and they get to meet their Pencil Pal for the first time. And the Pencil Pal, volunteers write to them, and then they kind of open up the door for the kids to write back, and they write, they don't do cursive because it's hard for kids to read the cursive nowadays. But so they write to them, and then the kids write to them, and then some of the teachers will get up and read what the volunteers have said. And it just gives that, I don't know, the kids just seem to love it. And when we all get together, they're hugging their volunteers, and a lot of them don't have the grandparents. So they look at this as their grandparent as well. And so it's just really a great scene seeing them.
That is amazing. A close range pen pal that you actually get to meet, and just two different perspectives back and forth. I can only imagine that is such a special evening there. That's so awesome. We're in our last minute now. Any final words you'd like to get out to the people? Volunteer, if you want to become a volunteer, how can we do that?
If you want to become a volunteer, you can get a hold of Kim Shalmadine at 217-994-0104. And then I will get a hold of the Cindy Nichols. She is the specialist here in Taylorville. And we'll get with you on that. And you'll fill out an application. But I know it seems long and lengthy, but it's really simple, easy, and then we get you going and get you on to volunteering.
Perfect. So many volunteering opportunities. Brittany, have you witnessed any volunteers with the Meals on Wheels?
Yes, yeah, we do. We have some RSVP volunteers that help deliver meals and also who help work in our sites too, volunteer on our sites.
Really awesome
Yeah.
just to hear about all the involvement and the want to be involved in this, and it's all benefiting the community. Great people with CEFS. Thank you so much for coming in today.
All right,
Thank you. Have a good day.
You as well. Brittany Palmer, Meals on Wheels Program Coordinator with CEFS, and Kim Shelmadine, RSVP Manager at CEFS Community Action. Learned a whole lot today with them. This has been the WTIM Morning Show right here on WTIM, your information station.
SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. The Supreme Court has spoken, and as a result, Donald Trump's sentencing